Thank you, Lavanya and Shivam, for having me on your podcast. This is a really great initiative that you guys are doing, honestly, and I really hope it reaches as many people as it can. Before I get into what I'm going to talk about, I'll just give a quick background about who I am and what I do, and why I would really be happy to be a part of this kind of a talk. So, I've finished my master's degree in chemical engineering, and I got to specialize in water and wastewater treatment. So, when you talk about sustainability, my area of water treatment forms a small part of it in what is a much bigger picture which we have to tackle right now. And that is along the lines of what I want to talk to you about. I thought I'd handle the bushfires and essentially forest fires in general. We've all been keeping up with the news. We know what's happening around now more than ever. And for all of us, 2020 was basically marked by quite a disastrous event. We all woke up to see what was one of the largest bushfires that we could have imagined happening in Australia. And just to put a few numbers into perspective, we're talking about millions of acres of land being destroyed in the process. We're talking about families being displaced. But more importantly, we're talking about a loss of biodiversity. I know so you would have actually come across those pictures of the little koalas having to be rehabilitated. And that is what the reality is of these forest fires. If you look back a little more, we had the Amazon fires last year spreading across about 4 countries. And we know that this was perpetuated by so many other factors. In nature, we know that forest fires do happen. It is a huge way for nature to sort of rejuvenate its resources. But off late, there's a trend that we've been noticing that these fires are becoming a lot more rampant and a lot more probable. So why is this really happening? What's going on behind this? And the biggest culprit is, in fact, human activity. We are doing so much right now that just isn't, that nature isn't able to absorb. Every time you look at, you look at climate change reports, you look at hotter days, what does that actually mean for these forest fires? So what research has shown is that when you have when you have longer periods of these things called a fire season, which is basically a higher amount of heat in this, which is trapped around, you have drier vegetation and you have more fuel to actually sort of ignite this kind of fire. And that is what we're noticing, that this is causing these fires to stay on for longer. We're not able to curb it. Another thing that they did notice, especially around the Amazon, was the legislation around deforestation was also so lax. The current government isn't doing that much about it. And their basic technique is slash and burn. That is a huge factor that kind of perpetuates this sort of a forest fire. So when you really look at it, there are these techniques that that otherwise could have been avoided that could actually go. So there are so many articles that talk about how the Amazon is one of the wettest parts on this planet, and even that area is not able to control it. That's when you really have to take a step back and sort of evaluate that, okay, how far has human activity really gone that we're not even able to stop it in one of the richest parts of the planet. We have so much diversity, so much in terms of biodiversity over there. We have so many ethnic groups over there that become endangered thanks to these practices. And most of the times, these kind of deforestation activities are done only with a very, very profitable and capitalistic viewpoint. So I think a major takeaway from what I have read in terms of these forest fires was that a lot of it has to do with human activity. At the end of the day, whether it's climate change, whether it's natural calamity, we're only aggravating it. We're not doing, all of our activities aren't doing anything to stop it. And that's where we really need to start reevaluating that, okay, this is where we have to take a stand and be like, every activity of ours, every repercussion needs to be measured so that in the future, going forward, we are able to control this and we're able to actually have an environment for the generations to come as well.